Open up your MTT and we're going to do the quiz review for 5-1 to 5-5. Number 1, we're going to change 5/6 to a decimal. So remember, we're going to do cowboy on the horse. The 5 is the number that's on the cowboy shirt. So that's going to go inside the church and it will sit down next to 2 praying people. And then the horse will stay outside the church, so that's a 6. We put the decimals straight up above the decimal inside the church, and we're going to do 6 goes into 58 times. That's going to give us 48, and we're going to bring down, and 6 goes into 23 times, and that's going to give us 18, and 3 times, and that's going to give us 18. And so you'll notice that we have a repeating decimal. So the decimal is going to be 0.83 with a line over the 3 because the 3 is the part that's repeating. If we're going to compare two numbers, a fraction and a decimal, then we need to go ahead and make them both into the same format. So what we want to do here is we want to change the 84 to 84 over 100. And then we're going to want to go ahead and reduce. So this would be 42 over 50, which is 21 over 25. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do the cross product check. So it's going to be 26 over 31 and 21 over 25. Then what we're going to do is we're going to check it with cross products. So when we multiply 26 and 25, that's going to give us 650. When we multiply 31 times 21, that's going to give us 651. So that means 21/25 is larger. So that means the alligator is going to be eating that fraction. DRP chart, this is going to be 38 over 100. And to simplify that, it's going to be 19 over 50. To make it a percent, we move the decimal 2 places to the right, so it's going to be 38%. -4 is a rational number, and it is an integer, but it's not a whole number because of the negative. Okay, so we see a negative fraction here, which means we're going to have to figure out the sign first. So hate to love means our answer is going to be negative. Now we rewrite the problem 1 and 1/6 times 3 and 1/7, leaving out the negative. We're going to go ahead and find the value. So 6 times 1 is 6 plus 1 is 7 over 6 because we need an improper fraction. And then we have 7 times 3 is 21 plus 1 is 22 over 7. We're going to go ahead and cross cancel, so this is going to become 1. This is going to become 1. 2 goes into 6 3 times, and 2 goes into 22 11 times. So we're going to have -11 thirds, or -3 and 2 thirds. Because if I take 11 and divide it by 3, it goes in 3 times, which is 9. And then we have 2 that floats back up and becomes our new denominator, our new numerator. All right, again, I see a fraction that has a negative, so I'm going to need to figure out my answer. So hate to love is a negative. So I'm going to take 8 over 6. Dividing fractions is easy as pie. Flip the second and multiply. So this is going to be 6 over 4. So we're going to cross out 6 and 6 goes in there once on both of them, and then 4 goes into 4 once, and 4 goes into 8 2 times. So it's going to be -2. This one we're going to add a line and change the sign. Our denominator is going to be 21. We have a +7 and a -13. What do I have more of? I have more negatives. How many more do I have? I have -6. I see a negative fraction, which means I need to figure out the sign first. So love to hate means my answer is going to be negative. I'm going to change them into improper fractions using the times plus thingy. So 7 times 3 is 21. 21 plus 3 is 24 over 7. And then we have divided by 5 times 1 is 5, plus 1 is 6, so 6 over 5. Dividing fractions is easy as pie. Flip the second and multiply. 6 goes into 6 one time. 6 goes into 24 4 times. 4 times 5 is 20 over 7. So it's going to be negative 20 over 7, or 7 goes into 20 2 times, which is 14, and you have 6 left over, so negative 2 and 6/7. So here we're going to add a line and change the sign. And we're going to look and we're going to see that we actually have more positives. Okay, so if we have more positives, that means we just need to simply do a regular subtraction problem. So we're going to subtract 1 and 7/9. And I can't subtract 7 from 2. So I'm going to cross out the 2, make it a 1. And then I'm going to add these two to have 11/9 minus 1 and 7/9 is going to give me simply 4/9. This one I notice that I have a negative fraction, so I'm going to have to determine the sign of my answer. Love to hate is negative. So I'm going to do 30 over 1 divided by, I need to do the times plus thingy. Don't forget, I have to rewrite the problem with no negative signs. So it's 30 over 1 divided by 2 times 2 is 4 plus 1 is 5 over 2. Dividing fractions is easy as pie. Flip the second and multiply. So we're going to put that over 2 over 5. 5 goes into 5 once. 5 goes into 30 6 times. 6 times 2 is 12, so it's going to be negative 12. For the bonus, I'm changing 3.7 repeating into a fraction. So I'm going to use my n equation. N is equal to 0.77777. I need to have one digit that's not repeating, so I need to move the decimal one place to the right. In order to do that, I'm going to multiply it by 10, and that's going to move move the decimal one place to the right. Now, it doesn't matter whether you write 5 sevens or 4 sevens, but write enough that you recognize that it's repeating. Now we're going to go ahead and subtract off the repeating part. So we're going to line up the decimals, and we're going to subtract off the repeating part. So now that repeating part is gone, and that leaves me with 9n is equal to 7. Divide by 9, divide by 9, n is equal to 7/9. Now my original problem was 3 and 7 repeating, so I need to take that 3 and put it back into my answer, so my answer is going to be 3 and 7/9 for the fraction.